My name is Morgan Adams and this is my Practical Team Sports Assignment 1. First of all, I'm going to be talking about the rules and regulations of football. On a team in football, there should be 11 players that start on the pitch. One of these players will be in goal and the other 10 will be outfield. 7 players are allowed to be taken to the game on the bench, and 3 of these players are allowed to be used as substitutes for the players that are already on the field. In some cases, such as friendlies, more substitutes can be used in order to rotate the team and try new tactics with the team. The pitch regulations in football are it should be 90 to 120 metres in length, 45 to 90 metres in width. The centre circle must have a radius of 10 yards, which you can see here. 10 yards on both sides of the semicircle, making 20 yards in total. There must be 18 yards from the top of the penalty box here to the baseline, which is there. The penalty spot should be 12 yards from the baseline, directly in the middle of the goal. And the inside of the penalty box, so this 6-yard box here, should mark 6 yards away from the goal sideways. So this distance here will be 6 yards on both sides. The referee officiates a game of football. He has 2 linesmen and a 4th official. In some competitions, such as the Champions League, there will be a 5th or a 6th official behind the goal line, which will aid the referee in making decisions such as whether the ball has crossed the line or any sort of incident that happens near that referee. The referee's duty is to give decisions regarding fouls, yellow or red cards, and goals. The linesmen are there to help referees with decisions such as fouls, which happen near them, offsides, and whether the ball has gone out of play for a throw-in or a corner or a goal kick. The 4th official manages the coaching staff by standing on the sideline. Also manages the time added on and signals for substitutions. The equipment that you need to play football will be size 5 football in a proper game. You'll need 2 sets of goalposts, a goal net, a marked playing area, as I've already showed you, corner flags, protective equipment such as shin pads, and also suitable footwear, so either blades or studs, or trainers if the ground is hard. The officials will need to be equipped with a whistle, booking cards, yellow and red cards, a notepad to keep track of the score and any previous incidents for players, a stopwatch to signal when 45 minutes is up, a scorecard or a score system, obviously to keep the score, and a communicating device such as a headphone, which each the linesman, the 4th official, and the referee will have to talk about the game and to help each other make decisions. The scoring in football is to score, the ball must fully cross the goal line. So that's the whole of the ball across the line. If you score more goals in a game than your opponent's team, you'll win the game, obviously. And to win the game, you earn 3 points. This is in a league format. You win 3 points if you win the game. If you draw the game, you get 1 point, and if you lose the game, you don't get any points. Surface is often played on grass, but recently AstroTurf pitches or 3 or 4G pitches have been introduced. This helps to maintain the pitch. It makes it easier to maintain the pitch, and it's seen as something for the future. So in the future, we may see more AstroTurf pitches because they're easier to maintain, and this helps the club hold back on finances and save for other things. There are many types of different fouls in football, ranging from a push in the back or a 2-footed tackle. Fouls can be condemned with either yellow or red cards, given free kicks or penalties, depending on how the ref sees fit. So, for example, if one referee is lenient, he may not give a foul for a push in the back, whereas another referee might be strict and he will give fouls often for pushes in the back and tugging on another player's shirt. If a foul is committed inside the penalty area, it will be given as penalty. So the ball will be put down on the 12-yard spot, and the player will have a shot at goal with only the goalkeeper to beat. The offside rule is if an attacker is behind the last defender on the opposite team when the ball is played by one of his teammates, that attacker is offside. Free kicks will be awarded to the defending team if there is an offside given. Throw-ins are awarded to the opposite team when a player kicks the ball out of play. If a defending player kicks over his own baseline, a corner will be given to the attacking team. And now we're moving on to cricket. There are 11 players on the pitch for the fielding team at all times. This will be 10 main fielders and then 1 bowler. Bowlers bowl 1 over at a time, and then they'll usually interchange between one other bowler, and then once those 2 bowlers have finished their turn, then it'll be the next 2 bowlers that come in to bowl. There are 2 batsmen on the wicket at any one time, so that means at either end of the strip there will be 1 batsman, and 1 batsman will face the ball. They attempt to stay in as long as they can and score as many runs, but every one of the 11 on the batsman team should expect to play at some point in the game as batsmen, because if 9 batsmen get out, then the last 2 batsmen will be in. There are different forms of cricket, such as the county championship, which is played over 4 days, where each team bats twice, 2 days each. Test matches are international teams, and these last for 5 days. Again, each team bats twice and bowls twice. One-day cricket is, for county level, it will be 40 overs each per innings. And international, it will be 50 overs each, and each team bats once in this type of cricket. 2020 cricket is the fastest, most exciting type of cricket. It's the quickest one as well. There's 20 overs per team in one innings each, and they have to try and get the highest score as possible to win the game. As I've said, every player may be required to bat, depending on how often the batsmen before them are getting out. So if batsmen number 1 and 2 start the innings and they finish the innings, that means that obviously neither one of them have gotten out. But if the batsmen are regularly getting out, then number 10 and 11 will be required to bat. So if batsmen number 1 and 2 begin the innings, when either one of these get bowled out, number 3 will come in. This continues until number 11 has been introduced, and then either that player or their batting partner get bowled out. One batter cannot play by himself. So, for example, if number 11 is on his own right at the end, then that's the batting team's go finish. You can't have just one batter. You have to have 2 people on the wicket at all times. The point scoring goes like this. If you hit the ball and with no bounces it goes over the boundary, you score 6 runs. Once you've hit the ball, if it bounces over the boundary, you score 4 runs, or rolls over the boundary. Once the ball has been bowled, you and your partner can run from wicket to wicket to score a single run. So, for example, if a batsman started at this wicket here, if he ran to the other side of the wicket where the bowler was, that would be 1 run, as long as his partner got to this wicket here as well. And if 1 run is 1 run scored, obviously 2 runs is 2 runs scored, and so on. In 1 over there is 6 bowls, so that's when the bowler bowls the ball 6 times. At the end of every over, the new bowler will bowl at the opposite end that was previously bowled at. Batsmen are declared out when the bowler hits the stumps from a bowl, or a fielding player has caught the ball on the full without any bounce once it's been hit. Running them out, which is when the batsmen are running in between the creases. If the batsman is not in his crease, you can throw the ball at the wicket, and if he's outside of his crease, he's out. And LBW, which is when the ball hits the leg before it hits the wicket, and that it's the umpire's decision to say if this is out or not, because if the ball hits the leg when it's not bouncing towards the wicket, then it's not LBW, but if it's preventing the ball from hitting the wicket, then it is out, and it is called LBW. There is no exact radius of a cricket pitch because some amateur teams are not able to have such a big playing surface. But many pitches are of similar size. These are professional pitches, so around 140 meters in perimeter. The wicket strip is 22 yards long and around 10 feet wide, although again this might differ on amateur pitches because of the quality of facilities and so on. At each end of the wicket there are 3 stumps. It's the batsman's job to protect these from being hit. The crease is known for being the safe zone for the batsman. So if the batsman is in the crease, it means they can't be run out, although they can be bowled out. But the ball cannot be thrown by a fielder to the wickets while they are in the crease. How to win a cricket match. The team that finishes with a greater number of runs will win the game. This is achieved by either scoring a large amount of runs, for example 300 runs, or simply not allowing the other team to get a high score by bowling them out early. So you could score 100 runs and be all out, your team would be all out, or you could just not allow the opposite team to get to 100 runs. You could just bowl out all of their batsmen, and then they have no way of scoring 100 runs. Different game styles achieve different feats and tactics. So, for example, 2020, you just have to score as many runs as you possibly can within the 20 overs because that's all you have. Whereas longer matches such as 4-day events, there's different sort of tactics. So you can declare in a game, which means you stop batting and then you start to bowl to try and reduce your opposite team's run rate and so on. Now I'm going to look at different scenarios in football and cricket which are the refereeing decisions that I agree or disagree with.